Welcome to the race here at Victoria Park. My name is Paul Richards. This is the UniSA Australian HPV Super Series for 2019. It's race 3, the first metro one we've done. We had Mount Gambier 2 months ago, Loxton. It was pretty cold there a month ago in the Riverland, and now here we are. Now there is a lot at stake here for round 3. This championship is very tight. We'll bring our camera through here. As you can see, the grid up happening. We're about 13 minutes from race time. We're about 10 minutes from the rolling lap here. But down here on the front row, this is schools day, and this is the senior schools. Now down here, Vector have only raced once so far this season, but it was a perfect score at Loxton. These guys in their mean machine from St. Peter's, absolutely spotless ride. This fella here will tell us about that. The ride today, my friend, surely 2 in a row would put you in absolutely great standing for the championship.
Yeah, look, that's the goal, obviously, but anything can happen throughout the race. We're just hoping we'll ride fast and ride clean, keep it upright, master the basics, and hopefully it'll go well. Fingers crossed.
Well, there's a lot of teams that would like to take that away from you. Around here, this team's been fantastic. Team Focus, now they've got 299 points. They've raced twice so far. Each team keeps their 2 best scores for the year. So this team here, they scored a first in Mount Gambier, a second to these guys in Loxton here. How important is today's win?
Very important for us, yeah.
Why is that?
So we can get as maximum amount of championship points.
Now,
going into Murray Bridge, yeah.
Yeah, we'll go. Murray Bridge, of course, is the big one. Now, that's the 24-hour race, the biggest race in the world for HPVs. Now, that's happening September 21st and 22nd, just from memory. And these guys, every one of them, to qualify for the UniSA Australian HPV Super Series, they must race at Murray Bridge. It's a massive race. It's a massive event, so they need to be in good standing here. So these guys, this is why it's so important to focus to actually win today. They can't surrender any points here to Vector. And they've got more trouble because across here, to their right, third point in the grid, is Glenunga Racing. Now, Glenunga here, these guys in Glenunga have 297 points. No, 294, my apologies there. Glenunga down here, still within the standings. G'day, how you going? It's all right, it's pretty chaotic down here. You're right in the middle of the front row. What's the tactic going into this lap?
Not crashing. That's our tactic.
A lot of people say that. In fact, Waddle Racing with Geordie, who won yesterday in the seniors, that was his advice to the younger riders. Do not crash. Keep going around and around. And it's a lot about momentum, isn't it?
Yeah, and if you're on the side, you're not getting faster. So really, sticking behind any of these 4 cars next to us, really, for the hour, it'll be good. Not on the side. That's how we want it.
A definite hot chance to take one of the top 3 positions is Glenunga. To their right, a team that always does well. This is Loxton. Now, they had the home race recently. Loxton are doing well as well. They've had some good results. They had what did you have? A fourth at Loxton. Yeah, that would have hurt a little bit.
Oh, yeah. We didn't have a great team, but yeah, we got a few numbers up, so yeah, it was pretty good.
Tell me about today. What's the team like today?
Yeah, pretty good. I think we got 9 riders, so that should get us through to about 40-minute stints, so yeah, it'll be all right.
I can see this front row being one of the stories of the day, in fact, because there's another character to introduce to you here, and you know this one, I'm sure. This is Mount Barker's Barking Mad 2. Now, just have a look at this. I want you to look at the scar tissue on this, Jai. This vehicle here is well loved. It's been through the grinder a little bit here, but these guys, they ride it tough, but they also have a very good chance of maybe even winning today. Now, you guys, Mount Barker High School Barking Mad 2, had a second at Mount Gambier, a third at Loxton. You're right in the mix of it.
Yeah, we are.
Today, how's the heart beating? Are you nervous? What does it feel like right here?
Well, it's my first time starting, so we'll give it a go, but yeah.
You've got the inside line, which might seem advantageous, but this corner, right at the end, about 150 metres or 200 metres from us right now, is such a tricky corner, and you'll see when they do the rolling lap, we did an earlier lap, and you'll see this corner. It's not an easy corner. If you're on the inside, you've got nowhere to really go. You need to be winding out a bit. So will you be pedaling hard that first lap just to get that line?
Yeah, it's really going to be a battle for that inside section. A lot of these guys who might be faster than me will definitely try and get there in front. I'm just going to try and get in the middle of the line, and then as soon as I get around it, that's when I'm going to start really taking off.
All right, well, good luck. So this row of 5, there's your seniors, there's your top 5 senior teams. There, of course, are the middle schools, the S2 category. Holy Trinity Lutheran College Tempest, 2 seconds they've had. They're on 298 points. Avalanche from the same school, an all-female team, 289 points, or second in that category. And Grant High School Rain, 287. We're seeing some new teams come to this race as well. I'm hearing in my ear that they're ready to rock and roll too, so it's 9:52. Let me just clear the grid here. Let's clear the grid, clear the grid. The grid must now be clear. Clear the grid must now be clear, which will allow us to quickly walk through and get an idea of the depth of this grid. Let's go and have a quick look here. In category S1, we'll never reach them at this pace, but S1 is your primary schoolers. 22, Horsham Western Haven Primary School, Wimmera Vispa. They've had a first and a second. Also, Holy Trinity Lutheran College Thunder is there in second. And 137, Holy Trinity Lutheran College Hurricane, all-female team, in third. Have a look at this, the depth of the grid. Let's clear the grid. The grid must now be clear. Fantastic. Let's clear that grid. I'm going to let you get some vision here. Go set a few things up. We'll join you for the rolling lap in just a moment. In fact, we'll go to the pre-record shortly as well. Are we going to that now, Jai? We're going to the pre-record now. This will show you the track here, 1,354 metres of racetrack here at Victoria Park. This is round 3 of the UniSA Australian HPV Super Series. We're in pole position here on the track, 1,354 metres of track. Let's go for a ride. This is what they see, and we'll check out the cornering as well. So under the first of the footbridges there, across the transponder line, and this beautiful downhill here, the old seductive one, this downhill. And I say that because the corner at the end is a blistering corner, and it often catches a lot of teams out. You can see the markings here from the Adelaide 500, the Superloop 500 that happens here every March. It's the first of the V8 races of the Australian Championship year. So here we go now. It's a really lovely downhill, and here your legs get a bit of a rest. It's one of the few places that you can here on the track. Just make sure that we can scoot through here. This is tricky, and we say this every time that teams need to walk this corner as they are now, just to get an idea of where to take the corner. Now the best idea with this corner is to take it wide like we are now. I do wish people would look. So take it here and then use the corner like this very much. Now this isn't exactly perfect, but it's not bad. A lot of teams go in too shallow and then they find themselves shooting out into the grass and towards the fence here. It is a tricky corner. It's also got a very strange camber to it. Hey guys, we've just gone up a bit of a hill now into a fairly new part of the course. To our left is Wakefield Street. We used to use that used to be part of the track. We had to shut down the actual road all day. Let's see if we can get some momentum through here. It's a nice part of the course. It's challenging. You've got to have your wits about you. Plus your legs again get a bit of a nice rest. So here we're approaching a set of pits, and it's a nice, very atmospheric part of the course here as we're now heading south, or sort of southeast towards Mount Lofty. So this is pit A, we're just passing here. So this is where they'll sling in a bit later today. And a lot of primary school pits to our left here. You have to excuse me, just looking forward. I think you can see why I have to. We might see if we can manoeuvre through. So this old heritage grandstand here is a beautiful old beast here. Coffee shop in the bottom of it. There's passing Girton now, and you can see a lot of the kids have drawn on the, a bit like the Christmas pageant, they draw on the track here. Love this part of the course. Here we go. If you sit in the grandstand, you can see the whole track. It's a really good track, this one, because you can see it. Not even at Busso can you see the whole track. You almost can. So this very atmospheric. People walk their dogs here during the day, sit in the grandstand, watch the race. This is the most newly resurfaced part of the track. About 7 or 8 years ago, the Adelaide City Council repaved this whole area, and it's very, very smooth. It's a good run, this. And we come towards one of our favourite parts of the track in just a moment. Underneath the bridge, we'll go past the pits again. The Specialised Event Solution footbridge number 2, and the congestion here is massive. So we're going to really be challenged. We might go off-road. Let's do a bit of off-road driving here. We're going to have to. So this is not how it runs, but this is how we will roll today. Look at the crowd now. The reason they're doing this, they're getting there, it's sort of soak up the track, but they get an idea. Their coaches will walk them through, their managers will walk them through and say, this is where you need to brake, this is the sort of gear you'll need, this is the line you'll need to take. And on the day when they race, a lot of that will be forgotten, I'm afraid. Really like this part of the course here. We're heading along Victoria Park we're in Victoria Park now. $12.5 million upgrade it's getting in the next few years. This is the hairpin now, the V8 hairpin, and it becomes our main straight. Oh goodness, pick a line. Okay, so this now, you can see the grid marks from the V8s. This is now ours, of course, and they are lined up, or they were lined up to about this deep. It's about 150 metre grid today. So this is a glorious run, and remember, it runs into that mean corner right at the end. This here is where they'll finish their laps. This is the sprint to the end as well along this straight. And you've got your refreshment area on your right. You've got the senior pits on your left here, and I am completely roadblocked. Let's see if we can sneak through. And that is a complete lap of the circuit here. 1,354 metres of pure adrenaline here, round 3 of the UniSA Australian HPV Super Series. So strong, and the primary school is passing the line now. So everyone's got something at stake. This will set them up for round 4, which will be here in a month. Then round 5 in Busselton. Then the big one, round 6. If you want to be part of the UniSA Australian HPV Super Series point scoring, you must be in the Australian International Pedal Prix, which is the 24-hour race at Murray Bridge. It's as they head around this track, all vehicles are on the track. We're being told that everyone's transponders are working and they're up and running. This track, 1,354 metres of racetrack. We must have everyone back from the track now, back behind the line, thank you. Back behind the line. There's a lot going on behind the scenes here. We're hearing that the pace car is just heading around the top of the track. In fact, we can see them. If we come through here, we'll just have a sneak peek towards Pit A and the grandstand. You can see this is the slowest they'll go, right over to the right of screen. There they are now. So they'll head towards the wonderful old grandstand, which is heritage listed. And you'll be able to see that on the screen very shortly here. They'll be halfway around the track when they make it there. And you just see over my shoulder, the cars are just heading towards... Well, you can't quite see over my shoulder, but yeah. Okay, you can see that they're just heading towards the grandstand now. This will be very exciting when they hit the hairpin that you saw in the pre-record we did earlier. When they hit that hairpin, the pace car will flick away. That's why we need everyone back from the pit, everyone back from the cones, thank you. The pace car will go at pace, and then they'll be riding in anger. They'll come across this line, and that race is on. 6 hours of racing. We finish at 4 p.m. local, and it's going to be an amazing race because there is so much closeness between the top riders and the top teams in categories S3, S2 and S1. This new category system is working well, actually. We split the races between the community yesterday, which was a thriller, and today, an absolute blinder. Don't miss any of it here on the live stream, thanks to Floodlight Media. I'm just looking over the camera, over the back of the camera here, and waiting for them. I'm going to swing around to give you a view. You can see David Knight with his Australian flag. You'll see that in just a moment here, just on the track. A lone man and his flag is David Knight. And not long now until we see the pace car start to emerge. The old Queen Victoria Hospital, a lot of the kids racing here, their parents would have been born in that big building to the left of screen. How about that? Isn't it amazing? Here they come now. I can see the top of the Morn team forward, and we are not far away. Timing one, entering straight. They're just letting Tim know from Trim Systems. Here they come. Everyone back from the cones. This is going to be big. We better get off the track. The pace car's going off the track, and they'll start picking up the pace here now. We'll be racing officially in just a few moments' time. Yes, you can hear the siren. The Aussie flag held up, and we are ready to rumble here at Victoria Park. Glenunga says, I'll take this first. Look at the pace of Blur as well. And the 5 big teams from category S3, the senior schools, rip through. And now we'll see some of the pace here. This is your category S2s. This is your middle school right here. And then your primary school has tailed it off. And check out the different designs. Every one of them through scrutineering yesterday. They've all been passed through a very stringent safety regime. And the crowd, the vuvuzelas are here. Wow, they're honking in the background. These are your primary schoolers now. Watch the pace as the top bikes come around again. They'll almost be passing some of these junior teams. So you can see the pace is sort of tapering off here, but it'll pick up again very, very shortly. We'll see. It's a lot of teams, well over 100 teams here. We'll give you the official count of start in just a moment. If you'd like to follow the results online, besides watching it, go to the Pedal Pre page. It's ahpvss.com, and you get live timing there with My Laps and also our website. And, of course, on the Floodlight Media page, you can watch the live stream. So we're waiting for our front runners now. This is the tail end of the primary schoolers still. A lot of teams here for the first time this season. You must race at least 2 races. You get to keep your very best 2 results plus your result from Murray Bridge. That's non-negotiable. You must race at Murray Bridge, and whatever your result is there, that counts. Here they come now. This is your leaders. You can see they're in the mix, and already the lapping is happening here. We're waiting for the fastest vehicles, and here you come, and it's Blur from Loxton, Glenunga. Oh, wow! Vector, in fact. Vector's come through. They've caught me by surprise. Then Blur, Vector's from St. Peter's, and those top 5, that is going to be a race right through this 6 hours here. That is going to be one of the best races this year because there's 5 teams evenly matched. Right at the top, every one of them knows that if you drop a point, you can be completely messed up for the rest of the season as well. We've seen teams lose by a point in the Australian Championships, and you don't want that. Beautiful morning here. Can you believe we're expecting rain a little bit later? And that'll change the lap times. But yeah, a great start, good clean start. I'm hearing that everyone's up and running in my ear. And so the atmosphere will settle into a bit of a groove very shortly. And we'll keep you up to date here at Victoria Park. If you'd like to send us messages as well, we love your interaction here on Floodlight Media with the Pedal Pre races, with the UniSA HPV Super Series. Send us a message. I'll get it in my ear or I'll see it, and we will definitely respond, or we'll try to respond to you. Who are you backing? Who are you hoping to see win? What are you hoping will happen here at the race? Have you got any predictions? Maybe you've got family or friends racing, you'd like to say g'day to them. Maybe, in fact, you're going to be at Murray Bridge and you just want to let us know how you think you'll go. Anything you want to tell us, we'd love to hear it here at the UniSA HPV Super Series. Wow, it has been a very good, clean start. The warmest day I can remember at Victoria Park ever for a start, and we've been there a long, long time now. Looking again, there's all sorts of paces happening here. Here, if you look here, there's our leader. There's Vector right now. And St. Peter's, who won so convincingly, so well at Loxton, are going to be enormously hard to beat. It's a 6-hour race. Anything can happen. The Bunyip from Murray Bridge comes through. They host the final event of the year. And you can see the different designs here. Like, for example, the Grant High School one, the Crank It. There's some very, very firm fans of racing here. So there you go. There's the start of the 2019 Round 3 of the UniSA Australian HPV Super Series. Now, throughout the day, what we'll be doing here with Floodlight Media is broadcasting quite regularly. I'll just get the time in my ear of our next broadcast as well, so you know when to keep tuning in. That is on our Facebook page. And all teams, I must tell you that if you have a story emerge and you're recording it, you can upload your short video. The instructions are in your emails. Your short video to our Facebook page via Facebook. Just do that. We can include it in the live stream. We'd love to have some dynamic action. Maybe you've got a GoPro inside your vehicle and something happens. Maybe something's happening in your pits that you want us to know about. Bring us your stories. We want to hear them. We want to see them. We want to experience the emotion of them as well. It's a very emotional event, and we would love to be part of what's happening behind the scenes here. Speaking of that, we will go through a pit walk a bit later as well. Well, will we wrap? Now, I'm just hearing from the producer here. I'm wondering if we're wrapping. Before we do, just pop down here for a sec. Let's just have a look at the Pembroke pit here. I just want to bring you across here. Have a look at the pit setup. This is the senior teams. Jason Nentakis having a drink of water there. Pembroke School Racing. Hey, Jason, how you going? Along there, Ross Trevor. Some very, very strong teams here. We see a lot of dramas and a lot of professional, really very schmick tyre changes, rider changes happening here. The primary school teams are on the far side of the course near the grandstand. There's a different pace. In fact, it's characterised by chalk drawings on the road, as well as the young kids sort of add their own atmosphere to the race. So today's schools here, we'd love to hear from you. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast. Have a look at some pictures. I'll leave you for the moment. This is round 3 of the UniSA Australian HPV Super Series. A lot at stake today. Don't miss a moment here with Floodlight Media and the Pedal Prix. Superb view here from one of the footbridges. The track down here, this is the front straight. You just saw them grid up on just a couple of minutes ago. They're now racing, of course, and you can see the meandering lines. You can see the faster teams coming through. This whole track, at nearly a kilometre and a half, is now jam-packed. We'll give you a 360 view here to show you why the bridges are so popular here. So obviously the senior pits over my shoulder. Just walk with me there, Jai, and if you swing around. The big crowd having a bit of a look, big photographic favourite. And then if we look down here, more of the pits here heading north as they head up towards Wakefield Street. The city itself, maybe a kilometre or two to the left of your screen. As they head up here, that's the tricky corner that I took you through in the golf cart a few minutes ago as well. You can see a lot of them will tuck to the left to give themselves a better chance. If you don't take the apex of that corner properly, you're going to find yourself really understeering the vehicle and heading towards the fence, and no doubt that will have happened already. So we'll come round now. You can see through here the drone flying up above them. And then over here towards the shaded area, through the old gums, Wakefield Street in the background, where we used to race a long time ago. Wasn't really a favourite amongst the riders, very difficult. That's pit A, that's the primary school pits, right there, where they're heading through. So all of your juniors are in that area, or most of your juniors are in that area. Past the wonderful old heritage grandstand here, you can still see them running around. That's Rose Park over there. The Adelaide Hills, in the back of your picture there, with Mount Lofty just to the left of this big building. You can see it here. Now it's units and apartments, but it used to be the Queen Victoria Hospital, and a very well-known place to anyone who's my age. Then the hairpin on the track now, of course. The hairpin itself, a terrific part of the course. You can really whip around here and build your momentum. It's a nice, slightly downhill straight, most of this, and as you head along here, you can build up. You go in 60 or 70 clicks if you're one of the seniors, and you'll find yourself heading towards that corner, which is a big crowd favourite, as you can guess. It's a beautiful, beautiful day here at Victoria Park. Even people are walking their dogs here, and we'll see if we can get an interview with this little one. G'day, fella. How you doing? It's a lovely atmosphere. Yeah, bring your dog through. We're good. It's a lovely atmosphere here at Victoria Park. Very family-based. This one, of course, being the kids. Hello, Pooch. We've got dogs everywhere. A lovely atmosphere, as I'm saying here. Lots of kids, lots of excitement as people really celebrate a great community event. This is the Schools Day here, round 3 of the UniSA Australian HPV Super Series. Oh boy, I'll tell you what, that start tired me out. It was a terrific blinder of a start, and lots of people make it possible. Our sponsors, of course, you can find them on the Pedal Pre page. Google Pedal Pre and you'll find that. But I want to introduce you to someone just very quickly, if we can. Andrew Mclaughlin is the chairman and has been since 2003, in fact. Andrew, an absolutely wonderful start. You were in the pace car there. What's that like?
It's good fun, Paul. It's good to see the field get around the track, and it's a good way for us just to make sure that everything's working properly as well. So no, it's good.
And is it?
Yeah, it is. I think it's all good. Everything looks pretty good at the moment.
You seem much more relaxed than we used to be 15 years ago when we were starting this event here at Victoria Park. This wasn't always part of the pedal pre culture. Why did we start doing this?
Oh, just to expand opportunity, I think, Paul. That we had people just doing 24-hour races and one event a year, and it was. It seemed like a heck of a lot of work to do just for one race, so we decided the idea was to develop a series and give people more opportunity to take part and utilise their energy into developing vehicles to a higher level, which is what they've done now too.
There's a lot at stake, Andrew, with today's race. I was saying before, the front row of that grid, all 5 teams in Category S3, the senior schools, could win this and also win the actual UniSA Championship over the year, with Murray Bridge being the climactic moment. That sort of tension, and we've got it in each category today, is a wonderful thing. I think it's actually worked separating the teams into those categories.
Oh, absolutely. I think it allows to focus that the competition is narrowed to a very narrow band of age particularly, and so that makes it work really well because you've got people of the same age competing against each other. So it also brings about, by splitting the community and the school teams, it brings about a really strong school focus for these guys racing today. But it's also allowing us to grow the community area, community involvement as well, as we saw yesterday in yesterday's race, where we had nearly 60-odd teams competing. And next race in July, we're looking up around 70 teams in the community race. So that development is working really well.
The other advantage of doing that, of course, is that we don't have a congested track. We used to race just on this day, on the Sunday, and this track was so bogged down. Like, you look at it now, it's not over full, but it's You wouldn't fit too many more, would you?
No, we're happy. We used to run 190 teams on this track, and that was congested. Running 160 to 170 is optimal as far as we're concerned. Ideally, you'd run a little less, probably 120, 130, but this works pretty well as a schools event. I think we're happy with the numbers as they are. We certainly wouldn't want any more.
If you'd like to know how your team is doing, if the live stream isn't running, you can still check our Pedal Pre page. It's Google Pedal Pre or look up ahpvss.com and you'll find the timing link to My Laps. And, of course, we'd love your interaction with us as well. Let us know your thoughts, anything you like. Just send us a message and we'll respond to that. It's wonderful having people watching right around the world. We've heard from people from Canada already. Isn't that great?
That is great. That's fantastic, and that's the great thing about this opportunity with the stream, to get the message out to the wider community and get it overseas. We get a lot of support overseas. A lot of people overseas who understand trike as a recreational activity, trike riding, not so much competition. So we're really keen to push the idea of competition getting established overseas as well.
Yeah, we've talked about that for a few years, so hopefully we can nail that. We have got some very good links with, as you said, with overseas. Netherlands is another one. The United States, of course, New Zealand, the UK, wherever you are in the world. We had someone from Syria once, someone who was stationed over there watching his son over here. That was a great day as well. No matter where you are, let us know where you are and, send us ideas. Maybe we can come to your country. That would be... Why not? World domination.
We'd love to do that. That'd be fantastic.
Andrew Mclaughlin is the chairman. Thanks, Andrew, very much for your time. Very successful event yet again here, this time at Victoria Park, which is right in the heart of Adelaide. It's a beautiful place to be. We're going to wind up here at the moment. We'll be back a little later today at 11:40 local. Now, I'll give you that. That's an hour and a half from now. So an hour and a half from now, we'll be back broadcasting again. Keep up to date with the My Laps and with the timing that we can show you the results live on the Pedal Pre website. Again, give us your input. You can message us anytime. We'll be back broadcasting some live pictures to you thanks to Floodlight Media and UniSA and the Pedal Pre, of course, in an hour and a half. From now, though, it's see you later as they race along here at UniSA's HPV Super Series Round 3 of Victoria Park.